Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel Straight Talk, where we dive deep into the minds of some interesting personalities who have achieved significant success in their line of work, as well as made remarkable contributions to the society. Our guest today is Sandeepa Kanitkar, Chairperson and Managing Director of Kan Biosys. Kan Biosys specializes in agri-biotech and deals in plant nutrition and pest management. Welcome, Sandeepa.
Thanks,
And
Rahul.
thanks for being here.
Thanks.
So, to start with, can you please tell us about a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your education, and other things?
Yeah. So basically, I'm an industrial microbiologist, so all to do with microbes. And then I did my post graduation in industrial microbiology from University of Pune. And after that, in fact, I happened to be in contact with Professor UK Kanitkar, who made me stay back in India and not go abroad. And then that is how I came into the field of microbiology or industrial microbiology, you can say.
Okay.
So I was born and brought up in Pune and went to Abhinav Vidyalay like you.
Yeah.
We are, you can say, schoolmates,
Right.
not batchmates. So English medium, and then basically I wanted to be a doctor, but I ended up being an industrial microbiologist.
So, right after education, you started this company, or how was it?
Actually, no. As I was telling you the earlier, after finishing my post graduation, I went in for my GATE. So that is Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. So
Right.
I applied for GATE 91, as I remember, and then I got good percentile score of around 96
Oh.
percentile. And then I applied to those conventional kind of institutes like Banaras Hindu University, where I was supposed to do my MTech in environmental microbiology. But then it so happened that I happened to meet Professor Kanitkar, as I told you earlier, and he had a kind of a library at home of agriculturally useful microbes. And I was really inspired by the work he was doing against all odds in the field of sustainable agriculture. So at the same time, I had got admission to Ohio State University in US.
Okay.
And then I still remember his words that instead of doing incremental innovation, you have to do innovation where it is needed. So that was, in fact, we are all, I was a rebel right from my younger age. And then I decided to stay back against my family wishes.
Okay.
To not do my MTech, not pursue my higher education in like MS in US, and then stay back in Pune, and then work in a very small laboratory in 2 rooms.
Oh.
And then that is how the journey started.
And looking back, you think that was the right decision? And
Actually, yes, because I was basically an entrepreneur at heart right from the beginning. So I
Okay.
like to flow against the stream. So as a habit, in fact, I don't like to do what 99 people are doing. So I like to be, I like to have some contrarian views, because that is where the innovation happens. And so you can say that my mindset was of innovation, to find solutions and then make something happen. I really am happy if I can make even the smallest thing happen with my own hands, with my own style.
Right.
So that is what really inspires me. And uh, in fact, that was a good decision, I feel, because the journey was very long up till now, because I've spent almost 31 years now in this field.
Wow.
32 years almost. And if I could have done my MS and then joined some big pharma company and then maybe left it halfway and come back to India, the journey could have been shorter.
Right.
But then it has given me greater insight in the huge field of agriculture,
Right.
where no one can vouch to be an expert in agriculture. That is what I've learned.
So you said he was working against all odds. So what were those odds?
Those odds were that basically there was no strong environmental lobby in the 90s,
Okay.
And the basic idea was that the green revolution had just happened around 2-3 decades back, and he believed that those times the farmers, they were small landholding farmers, even though in fact today also they are same, and they could not really get the kind of yields, because farmers are always drenched in poverty. We are made to believe that there are some classes of farmers who are doing some high value crops and all, so they are not that poor. but then he wanted to work for the small and marginal farmers. So there, in fact, he was working with a microbe called as Azotobacter, which is a nitrogen fixing microbe, and that is used to supplement the nitrogen in the soil. And I'm happy to say that the work right now has gathered momentum right now in the US, and we started work way back in 90s.
Oh,
So that was the foresight he had, and I was really very much inspired by that foresight.
right.
So in fact, he did not live long to see the merits of what we have been able to do, small bit we have been able to do right now. But that was the kind of thing which inspired me to work on and then make something happen out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that must be really amazing experience, right? To
Yeah, it is amazing experience, and see, hard work. If you are, you know, possessed by some idea, then you start dreaming, and then the energy levels they, they themselves they kind of gather momentum.
right.
Hmm.
And you said you are always entrepreneur at heart. So you come from a business family, or how was it?
No, actually, I don't come from a business family. My grandfather was a businessman. He was a
Okay.
builder. So, in fact, he was not educated. In fact, he did not know how to read English. In
Oh.
fact, he was good in Marathi and all. But then he came with nothing in his pocket, and he set up a good kind of business in Pune and Mumbai. So I was inspired by his kind of work. But my
Okay.
father was in the military,
Oh.
and so the entrepreneurship came from my grandfather, as you can say. And from the age of 18, I have never, depended on my father for monetary things.
Oh.
So doing small things, earning your own bread, not bread exactly, but butter, you can say,
Yeah.
pocket money from the age of 18. I had my own designer label at the age of 20,
Wow.
Tanaya. And then that was how I used to keep on doing small things and then try and see how they can be made big. So I always used to see some kind of technology and then think about thousands of people using the technology and how it can be taken.
Because I think those days, in fact, women were not working much, and doing a business, starting something was unheard of. I
Yeah,
think.
I always liked dynamic women, right
Yeah.
from my younger age, and I used to be inspired by these kind of women. Not that I don't like working in home because I believe I'm a good cook, but
Great.
but still that kind of you know drive which women have. I always believe that women who are exposed to different situations in the society, they can in fact bring up their children well
Yeah.
because they can impart such kind of experiences to their children. And I mean, India, if it has to grow, 50% women are there, they have to come into the mainstream. Otherwise, we will not grow to the extent at which India has to grow.
That's very true. And so you started your company in those 2 rooms, is it?
Yeah, 2 rooms.
How
And
was the
then,
journey? Can you tell us? A little
yeah,
bit?
yeah, the journey was trying to, work with whatever we had because that was not an era of venture capital and all. So we went through the conventional route of going to the bank, getting the finances, and then we took around 12 years to stabilize the technology. We got many awards, national, international, to produce the first liquid biofertilizer in India, for which we got the United Nations WIPO Gold Medal
Oh.
in 1999.
Wow.
So after the Pokhran blast, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, he declared 11th May as a technology day. So that in fact first day award we got it in 1999.
Oh.
After that WIPO Gold Medal was in 2000 for creating this kind of technology which can be used by masses for nutrient supplementation for crops. So that we got many awards and rewards, but then the scale up of the technology we could not do till 2005-6. So
I
that
see.
was when I formed this another company, Kan Biosys. I took over all the research of Krushi Mitra, and then we started our journey.
So Krushi Mitra was the
Yeah,
earlier.
Krushi Mitra was the first enterprise we formed in
Okay.
1993, and in 2005 we took over the earlier company. We consolidated all our work in Kan Biosys, and then the journey of Kan Biosys started.
Okay.
So it started. Then we attracted capital, and then the first kind of series happened in 2016.
Oh.
That was also after 11 years.
Wow. So it's a long journey
Long, very long journey. So I told you it's a long, slow journey,
Yeah.
as I can put it. And this journey, in fact, now has got momentum with the with we getting some international equity now from a French multinational company
Oh.
who has invested in us, and now the growth plan for pan-India basis is now ready with us.
So I think perseverance is your strength. It looks like.
Absolutely, it is a strength for, in fact, should be there for all entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because if you really you have to course correct at times, bend, but then you should not lose sight of your goal.
Correct.
That is the basic idea.
Very true.
And if you love it, if you do it with passion, in fact, you never forget it.
Right.
So you just keep on thinking as to how you can make things happen. That is the only thing.
I think your customer base must be all farmers, right?
Yeah, absolutely true. They are all farmers. So right now we work in around 7 states of India,
Okay.
and we plan to really take this technology to almost every farmer in India through this distribution channel we have set up, through some bulk partnerships with some big companies, and then of course exports. So
Yeah.
that is also has been our forte.
So farming means it's a male-dominated profession, right? So and as a woman, when you were approaching them, were there any challenges for acceptance?
Yeah, true challenges, because in fact I was brought up in Pune, so we are all kind of we never get we never relate to the farmers to that extent. So I had to change my mindset, change my way of dressing, so that farmers can easily approach me, talk to me, and then if I go to the rural channel, they have to feel that I am one amongst them, so that they can talk to me, in fact converse with me in their own language. And then India is very different from Bharat, as I can put it. And but growth is there in the Bharat now.
Yeah.
So we really have to be able to see how these two can we can bridge the gap between them. But there's a huge potential which still is untapped in the Bharat.
Right.
So setting up this distribution channel, going to the dealers, farmers, going to the universities, all has been a great experience, because I don't know, deep in my heart, I always wanted to be in India. I can just say that. Because every time I travel abroad, when I see the shore of Mumbai, it makes me happy.
Yeah. So again, that was the first challenge, right? Approaching them and convincing. But another challenge must be since you are doing biofertilizers or biopesticides. So the reaction time is compared to all the chemicals that are used is longer. So how is the acceptance for that?
Yeah. So this has been a very kind of a slow transition, as you can put it, and farmers are more driven by right now the problems and the challenges which they are facing. The first challenge is, no matter what they do, if we do the farming in a conventional manner, everyone knows that there is a compromise in the soil fertility.
Yeah.
And the compromise in the soil fertility is not just that, okay, you are going to get reduction in yields, or your costs are going to increase, but that is multifold, because the main resource is being depleted. And that resource depletion leads to many challenges which the farmers have to face for their ensuing kind of cultivation in the next years. So it really boils down to how many harvests we still have now.
Right.
Earlier, farmer never used to think about how long can he farm this soil. So now there are roughly around 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 harvests left in some kind of areas.
Oh.
So you can have that proof in the sugarcane belts, where
Right.
the soils have become so saline that nothing grows there now. So one compromise is soil fertility. So they know that they have to do something different than what they are doing right now. So they come to us.
Okay.
Second is that no matter how many bags of urea or the fertilizers they are adding, the cost of cultivation is increasing in order to produce the same kind of produce.
Yeah.
And one US president has said that farmers buy everything in retail, but they have to sell in wholesale.
Yeah.
So if we see the price at which we get rice or wheat, that is not increasing to a great extent. But the farmers have to keep on increasing their cultivation costs. So that challenge also, again, they come to us to improve the efficiency of the fertilizers. Then the food safety aspects, those are extremely important, because if you see the pesticides like poisons which are being used in the fields now, uh, there are so many stories in the newspapers wherein the farmers are consuming pesticides and they have committed suicides.
Yeah.
Now, why is that happening? Because the pesticides themselves are not working to the extent which earlier they used to work with, because there has been the compromise in the microbial diversity. And because the diversity is being eroded, many of the diseases are right now growing. And I just happened yesterday to be a part of an international webinar on soil microbiome, wherein they say that due to the increases in the temperature, the pathogens are getting accustomed to the temperature ranges. So that is why they need more pesticides. If they use more pesticides, they become resistant the pests. And again, there's a vicious cycle. So these challenges also make the farmers come to us because they know that biopesticides, their produce will not be rejected at exports. Their cattle will not be affected because they have sprayed the crop which the cattle is eating. So all these kinds of things will lead to farmers coming to us. And now everyone knows that poisons are poisons. Everyone knows that they are not consuming what they are in fact growing in their home. So they are selling it in the market. So that kind of mindset also, they are not happy with it. So that makes them come to us. But still the market is just about 10 to 15% of the chemicals, which is around not less, around 6,000 crores. So that also is a kind of a big market for, and which is going at a CAGR of around 15 to 20%. So there is room for good technology to come in and get more market share, and then make the farmers better off with their farming techniques.
So this sounds as scary as the antibiotics in human beings, right?
Absolutely, because 70% or 80% of the antibiotics which are right now used are used in poultry, are used in animals. So and those same antibiotics are going into our milk, into our flesh.
Right.
So that is in fact, and of course there are, if you are using that kind of stress in the environment, microbes have a very small generation time. So they can evolve, they can adapt. And because they can adapt, they can have the resistance also developed. So many of the antibiotics, if we use them scrupulously, we will not be having the antibiotics left for treating, last stage of diseases. So we have to use them very much in a rational manner.
True. Over the period of growth, what were the major changes you had to bring about in your company and overall mindset of people around you, in your client base?
Yeah, so in fact there was many challenges, and I grew up meeting those challenges, as you can put it, because basically initially you are just a innovator, just an innovator, and then you are trying to have some kind of pilot experiment in the market, and then maybe learn from it, and then get somebody interested to put money on it so that both of you can grow.
Right.
So that is the basic idea. So that idea, in fact, the scale at which you grow, that depends upon the scale at which you invest in that business. So that has been a very long journey for me, and I believe that because of that, it has been very slow. I have been very patient with the kind of changes I like to see with the team, with the technology standardization, and with the scaling up. So now the pace of change is tremendous in Kan Biosys now, and these people are gearing up to the pace of change. So right now there is implementation of SAP happening, or there are some systems approach which are being created, and the market right now also is maturing to the impact of use of biologicals in this field. So many changes are happening in too short of a time now. So earlier I used to complain that things are too slow. Now the things are extremely fast.
So is it because of rapid change in technology, or
Rapid change in technology and the scale up which we have to do now, that can happen because the awareness about biologicals is improving. And if we are having the technology, the speed of scale up is increasing. So that speed of scale up is necessitating us to also change our pace to the extent which we can grow, because we have that competitive advantage. So why lose it?
Correct.
So that is why the speed.
What, according to you, is the strength of Kan Biosys?
Strength of Kan Biosys is technology. Strength of Kan Biosys is trust, quality, which, and ethics. We never compromise on those. So those are in fact, you can say, strengths. And the people, last but not the least. So many people have stayed with us for more than 10 years, 15 years, and they have given us the kind of value and trust which the market also sees in us. So that has been our strength.
Are you doing something differently to retain people for such long periods?
So we have this kind of life at Kan Biosys approach now, which we we already it was there, but now we have put it into words.
Okay.
And this is happening. So besides working, we also target the larger kind of aspect which we have to take. For example, if we are working on soil fertility, we have to be addressing how people can contribute to soil fertility and create awareness in the society. So how can we do something at schools to make them aware of soil fertility? So more than what is required for your job, how they can contribute, because so doing something good also makes you feel better, isn't it?
Right.
And expanding it to the extent in the next generation, that makes you better. So now
Absolutely.
we are trying to create this, plus some kind of environmental benefits with respect to forestation and all, afforestation. We are trying to do that. Some activities to improve your skill set. That is right now it is happening. So we allow the people to dream and grow, and
Ah.
then make them carefree of committing mistakes.
Right.
So they have to commit a different mistake every time.
Okay.
So they should not be afraid of committing mistakes, because otherwise they will not venture out into new areas, new concepts. So
Right.
that in fact that freedom we give at Kan Biosys.
Okay.
So that is what in fact I can say.
So that must also be giving them motivation to try new things. Right?
Absolutely, and that is because that is how I have learned.
Yeah.
Nobody has asked me that okay, if you do this, you'll fall into this ditch, and then you mean I have fallen into the ditch, and I have again gathered energy to come up
Right.
and start walking. So that kind of drive which I have, I try to give it to others, and once I give the responsibility, I give them freedom to act. That is the only. I don't micromanage, because if that is done, then nobody stays
Yeah.
with you.
Correct. And I think there are a lot of people who are even doctorates, right, working for
Yes,
Kan
yeah,
Biosys.
many of
So-
them are, and they are in fact because you have to be able to create your niche in the organization, and then see to it that that niche is supporting other niche new areas which are helping you to grow.
Right.
All of them to grow, because all of them have to be able to see the same picture which the head of the organization is seeing.
Right.
If that is there, the growth becomes easier.
Correct. Talking of head of the organization, how do you describe your leadership style?
My leadership style is more of empowerment, I believe,
Okay.
and motivation, and then trying to be make them see what they are inside. Because many a times people have come to me and said, no, it's very difficult in the first attempt, they tell me that, and when I just persist, they come after some time when they have achieved that goal, that oh, I never could believe I could do it.
Ah.
So that is the best thing I
Right.
get to hear from people, that okay, I mean, the other person knows more than what you know you can do. That is what I feel, because
Yeah.
it has happened to me right from my childhood.
Right.
My parents used to encourage me to do some things which were very different at the time when my other kind of girls and boys were doing. So that is how in fact I have been able to
What were those different things?
different things, mean pursuing different kinds of hobbies, or
Okay.
going on long treks,
Acha.
and then trying to do everything independently. I started going to the bank in my second standard, third standard.
Acha.
I mean, just getting money, because my father used to be in different areas,
Right.
in Jodhpur and Rajasthan and Punjab and East. So I used to help my mother in almost everything. So that
Wow.
really helped me to, have that kind of leadership. And so leadership, in fact, I believe 50% you can cultivate, but 50% you have to have it inside you also.
Right.
Because it is all about responsibility.
Yeah.
And many of the people, they shirk from responsibility. And if someone can take that responsibility of good things and bad things which come along with it, I think that is the only way you can empower them.
Yeah. You recently had an investor coming in from France, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so after the lockdown, we in fact had very challenges. So we were looking for investment, because otherwise the technology, again, the scale up of the technology could have taken time.
Okay.
And that is why we were looking out for some strategic investment in Kan Biosys, which could help it to go globally. So our technology, and we wanted a global partner who wanted to look at India in a fresh perspective. So we found this partner in France, who is a right now 600 million euro company,
Oh.
and they are based out of Toulouse in France.
Okay.
and they have offices in 43 countries.
Acha.
And now they also are trying to make biologicals. I have some good leading space into agriculture. So because our frequencies matched, we said okay for the investment. And now we are happy that we are building the largest plant of microbial fermentations for agribiologicals
Oh.
in Pune.
Wow.
So that will help us to cater to the market not only in India but also in different countries wherever they are present. Desangos is the name of the company. Yeah.
So what is the name?
Desangos.
Desangos.
Yeah.
Okay. And what attracted them to Kan Biosys?
Maybe the team, the sincerity, technology, and how we were really doing so many difficult things in very modest kind of infrastructure, I can say, because now Bayer has also come to us for selling one of our products for control of powdery mildew in grapes. So that was in fact what inspired them, that the vision of the Kan Biosys was much more and they really wanted to complement that vision and support it so that we can realize it.
So, like you said, like minimalistic approach is typically what we do, right? In
Yeah,
Indian.
we are jugards. In fact, we
Yeah.
Indians are best jugards because we have, our childhood was not in abundance
Correct.
with respect to the societal resources.
Right.
We always had scarcity, but now the generation is changing, and now they have got abundance in some kind of areas. But India right now per capita is not to the extent whatever the Europeans and the Americans are.
Right.
But then the technology Indians, I see a sea change which is happening in the way Indians are perceived outside with good technology masters, and we are sincere, we are loyal.
Right.
So that aspects, in fact, have helped me to position our products into different global markets.
And with all this technology, we keep hearing about AI and stuff like that. So, does that also play a part in your kind of work?
Yeah, absolutely, because AI will be useful everywhere, because we believe that how we reach the farmers, because farmers right now they have got out to the social media like anything. So the cost of reaching them has substantially reduced now, and we really have to make use of all the right now the resources which are there, advanced resources which are there, and reach the best of technology, because right now the technology is not reaching the farmers to the extent it should be, and it should be made affordable to the farmers, and their kind of risk management has to happen properly. So agriculture requires a lot of policy push, and once that policy push is there, agriculture really can grow, because that is the primary activity which any country has to be good at.
Correct.
And that should not be neglected, because if we can't neglect our food, we require food to be there on our plate three times a day. So we all of us have to contribute to that directly or indirectly.
Correct. And what is your vision for Kan Biosys going
Kan
forward?
Biosys should be the largest microbial company in the world, because we believe that we can really make things happen, and if it is supported by the right kind of team and the spirited kind of funds, I call them spirited because they are kind of patient capital funds.
Right.
We can really make things happen. Starting from the first patent in liquid biofertilizers, we have come a long way, and we believe that we have the pipeline of products which can be given for the next decade in agriculture to solve many of the problems.
I think biofertilizers by itself is something like doing service for the society, because you're saving, as you said, the soil and all the pesticide related whatever health related issues that happen. So, other than that, are you also involved in any social activities as yourself or as a company?
So right now I'm trying to manage one more company. We have interest in called Agrita that is doing some good work with respect to digitizing agriculture.
Okay.
So this new agriculture practices which have to be taken to the farmers, we have some role in that. Other than that, I have one more company called Purna Paushtik,
Okay.
and that is to deal with the woman coming together to really help in food processing. So that is the activity which yet has to gather momentum.
Okay.
And with respect to social aspects, I really am interested in education and health with respect to the younger generation.
Right.
So whatever I can do to support that activity with respect to supporting some NGOs and all, I'm trying to do that.
Oh, great.
But because the time management aspect is quite challenging for me to find time separately for that.
Okay. Yeah, Agrita, can you tell us a little bit about that? And what?
Agrita, actually, I co-founded Agrita with a friend of mine called Prashant Gune. And he, in fact, is a very good software person. And now, I was really happy that he got inspired to do something in agriculture, because it's not so easy to do something in agriculture. Because agriculture seems very simple from outside to an
Right.
outsider. But if you dive deep into it, it really catches you, because there are so many things to be done and so many things to be improved that you really get attached to many of the things at a time, and that may slow down your speed. So right now in Agrita, we are trying to digitize agriculture with respect to the farm to fork kind of model which we are trying to develop. The second model we are trying to develop is of satellite kind of data management, which the food processing companies can use to take the best from the farmers and give the farmers the best also, because in the end the farmers should earn more.
Right.
So if they cultivate it in quality and with respect to responsible technology, definitely we can improve their livelihood. So that is the main aspect. And third aspect is we are trying to associate the kind of e-commerce markets in the cities. So that as all we are trying to connect the farmers to the cities,
Oh.
city market. So that is what we are trying to do in Agrita.
So they can sell directly. Is it?
They cannot sell directly, but then the visibility aspect is improved by Agrita.
Okay.
So we are trying to create some kind of specialized models which can be scaled up.
Okay. Agriculture, as we see, as there always we keep hearing there are problems, farmers are facing challenges. So, what changes do you think government should make? I mean, to
Yeah. So that is a very big topic. So agriculture per se is right now has been in fact growing at 4%. And it needs to really grow at 7, 8, 9, 10%.
Oh.
So in fact that means it has to double. If it has to double, then you require some good reforms which are there in agriculture. So agriculture right now, government is doing its best to support agriculture with respect to input costs, with respect to electricity, giving them free electricity, the water. So that aspect is there. But then the capital investments which would happen in agriculture, those are not happening to the extent they should.
Right.
So with respect to markets, they are not happening. So agriculture requires very high value reforms. And for those reforms to happen, you have to have good participation not only from the society but from the farmers also. So, and the farmers have to be convinced that the capital investment is better for them than just the freebies they are getting right now.
Yeah.
So the freebies and the capital, because capital will help them to jump, leapfrog into the other areas, whereas these freebies, they are just keeping them alive,
Yeah.
not kicking and running.
And maybe the motivation also goes down, right, to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you have to have, in fact, less people in agriculture, because I see many reports wherein we don't need so many people in agriculture.
Oh, okay.
So maybe some supporting businesses with respect to agriculture, with food processing, or with cattle. So those aspect, or animal husbandry, these kind of things have to be supporting agriculture. And India still is a primary producer country.
Right.
The lot of processing is not happening. So unless the industrialization with respect to the raw material happens to the extent, it's not going to help us. So we really have to create, bring lot of capital into agriculture in this food processing aspect, in the allied aspects of production of different high value metabolites, which is also not happening.
Okay.
So lot of capital has to be infused in agriculture, and for the capital to be infused in agriculture, agriculture has to be made risk free, and then it has to be made lucrative. And if the government intervention is too much, then the private sector will not be interested to improve it.
Correct.
So that is what is the main problem, I feel, according to whatever I have perceived,
Right.
to a small extent in agriculture.
So, and private sector is now getting into this, or?
Private sector, basically private sector is on different sides, you know.
Hmm.
So the main development with respect to roads, linkages, that has to be done by the government.
Yeah.
Private sector will not jump into that. Private sector will jump into the processing aspect of agriculture.
Right.
So the buying aspect of agriculture, the market aspect of agriculture. There, in fact, the policy reforms push will help the private sector to come inside.
Hmm. What I gather is you have a very hectic lifestyle, right? So I'm keen to know how you try to relax to keep your mind, sane.
I
What is your?
I have so many hobbies that I can't find time for them, I should say, but cooking is my primary hobby. And
I think baking, right?
baking, yes, I love to bake. And then I love to travel a lot and go to different places. Plus, I like to read. Reading has been
Okay.
my hobby right from my childhood. So I have a collection of more than 5,000 plus books.
Wow.
So that really keeps me. And what I can say is just I love solitude.
Okay.
Because then that really helps me to get different things in order.
Yeah.
So meditation, it helps me, as I was telling you right now.
Right.
That helps me a lot, and being with my family.
And so, what is your favorite book?
Favorite book right now, Principles by Ray Dalio.
Okay.
That is helping me, and so that is the what is that he has described in a very good manner as to how whatever has happened in the past will happen in future.
Okay.
So whatever decisions we took in the past, we should be able to find some logic behind it,
Hmm.
and then put them out as principles if they turn out good.
Right.
So that has been the best book I have read lately.
Wow.
So he's the investment banker, hedge fund manager,
Okay.
internationally, and Bridgewater, I think so, is the name of his company. So
Okay.
I love that book.
And any favorite author?
Favorite author, during my childhood days, it was Jeffrey Archer.
Okay.
So Prodigal Daughter has inspired me to a great extent.
Yeah. Okay.
He has been my favorite.
And you also like music and films. I'm from film background,
Films.
so
Oh, films I like because of my husband, but music, yes, I love to listen to music.
okay.
Uh, but more than that, I'm just hooked on to the news,
Oh, okay. Great.
the stock market.
Acha. So again, work is there, right?
What
Some
is that?
kind.
Because I am inspired by good businesses, good business stories.
Right.
That is what inspires me more.
So do you have any idol you look up to in terms of your personal as well as business life?
There are many to in fact mention also, because different people inspire you at different stages of life.
Correct.
They don't, in fact, sometimes you forget them, sometimes you just keep their principles with you and then get ahead. But many people, basically, qualities attract me more than the people.
Correct.
I can say, because no, not a single person is good at all.
Right.
So different people have possessed different kind of qualities. So sincerity, hard work, then dreaming, making things happen.
Right.
These are things which I like in a person. And then entrepreneur spirit, that is the best. In fact, I like. So there are so many success stories in India which
Right.
really inspire you. I mean, there are so many, like Kiran Muzumdar, Biocon, how she started.
Right.
There are so many success stories in software, or people who have hopped from software like Nandan Nilekani, the UPI system and all. So many people. In fact, it is you will not. I mean, so many people I
Very
can just
true,
keep
yeah.
on telling you.
So talking of entrepreneurship, so what message would you like to give to young aspiring entrepreneurs?
Entrepreneurs, basically people who have got risk appetite, they can be entrepreneurs.
Right.
So you cannot be totally in your comfort zone, not risk anything of your personal things and then be an entrepreneur.
Correct.
You have to be able to have that risk appetite for being an entrepreneur. And right now, I don't think so entrepreneurs require any advice. They are so
don't?
much possessed to the extent that they will do anything against all odds to make things happen.
Right.
So instead of entrepreneurs, I mean, there are so many investors who are believing in entrepreneurs these days. So I believe that whenever I read a good story of an investment of an entrepreneur, maybe in space, right now. So
Yeah.
many ventures are coming up. So India will be very, very different in the next 5 years, 10 years, I believe.
Correct. Great. So it was amazing talking to you as always, and thanks a lot for coming. And to all our listeners, thank you for watching Straight Talk. If you like the interview, please click on the like button, and also please subscribe to our channel, as well as hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates to our upcoming interviews. Thank you.